Thank you for the invitation to present our two master programs. You've heard my name is Gabi Weigelhofer. I am from the Institute of Hydrobiology and Aquatic Ecosystem Management, and I am mainly situated actually at Wassergastelunz, which is a wonderful area near Mariazell, right at the shore of the lake, where if you study applied limnology, you will also be. Okay, so I will start first with the applied limnology master. And I invite you, I don't try it today. I did it during the last times, but it was a bit awkward. So if you're interested, please go to the webpage. And you see here, we have nice films. We have a teaser of approximately 3-4 minutes and a longer one if you want to have people also talking. Look at that, you will see how, you will hear reports of students who did the master. You will see a bit of the group work, naturally all very promotional and very inspiring. And yeah, but please do it. So why applied limnology? Well, the one thing is that freshwater ecosystems provide a huge amount of ecosystem services. They are habitat for different species, fauna and flora. They are responsible for water purification, for example, the floodplains. They are part of the hydrological cycle, so it's about drought and flooding events, carbon sequestration in floodplain areas, etc., recreation also naturally, and education. This is the one thing that they provide. Unfortunately, they are among those ecosystems that are most threatened, especially floodplain areas. They have been degraded over the last centuries, especially during the industrialization. Rivers have been degraded, channelized, floodplains disconnected, and whatever. Which means that by degrading them, we reduced their capacity to provide these ecosystem services. So actually, it's funny, we wouldn't do that in economy, that we do, okay, we reduce something or restrict it, and then I have less gain from it. We wouldn't do that. For nature, it's kind of okay. So this means they are important ecosystems. They need urgent restoration, conservation, and preservation. And the EU is, I don't know whether you have heard about the Horizon Europe project, Horizon Europe program, but here is one aim is restore our oceans and waters until 2050. So it's a huge idea, vision, let's say, but there's a lot to do, which means that there is a lot of now Horizon Europe projects really going on that deal with restoring our rivers, restoring our wetlands. What is the difference now between applied limnology and the limnology and wetland management master? So we have two programs or two master programs that are very closely linked. Well, applied limnology is here, 100% at Boku, which means we deal with mainly temperate regions. Whereas the limnology and wetland master goes to Kenya, so you also have their tropical systems. However, you can mix them, which is what I want to show you. Okay, why? Okay, so where? You know Boku, but just that you know where I am located. This is here, right, really at the shore of the lake, and it's wonderful in summer and winter. Okay, so who, that's me, a bit younger than now, but and my colleague Gerald Winkler, who is mainly actually responsible for the wetland management, the limnology and wetland management master, so for the international one. Just a few impressions, you can see them in the videos too, You see here, we are a lot outdoor, So this is definitely not a good program if you don't want to go into nature. It's a perfect program if you say, okay, no matter, I get wet, I get dirty, but it's exciting, wonderful. Here, for example, you see they survey the stream morphology, they have wetsuits, It's wonderful if it's nice weather, not so wonderful if it's rainy, but this is around, so this, I guess it's the Oise. I think at least the course is in Lunds, and I guess they do it in the Oise. So they snorkel along a certain stretch, yeah, and take up river morphology. Here you see two. This was somewhere in the floodplain areas. Again, I guess it's the Danube floodplains. Here we, here's fish sampling. So there's a lot outside. Good. So how is the structure of applied limnology and the limnology and wetland master? We start together during the first semester, which means now we have both. We have the students from applied limnology and the students from the wetland. I call it just LWM master. Together in these introductory courses. So you see here we have, sorry, this is general. So, this is the next slide. Go to this slide. This slide is Master Applied Limnology is exclusively at BOKU. You have compulsory courses, but you have a lot of elective courses. So it's a modular system, and you can do a lot. You can really shape your own master, yeah, depending on where your interests are. The LWM master is a lot more restricted. So you see that these are all compulsory courses. You only have a few elective courses. Why? Because the first semester is at BOKU, and then you have to finish all the lectures and classes and get your grades. Then you go to you go to Egerton, also finish all the courses there, and then you go to Delft. Yeah? So it's a lot more restricted. But nice thing is, if you say, "Ooh, that's a bit too, I want to be the master of my master. Yeah, I want to shape it myself. I want to do what I like best." Yeah, you can apply for applied limnology and do some courses from this year, and I will show you how to do it. Good, but what is most important is you end up with the same amount of ECTS. Yeah. Good. Now I come to what I wanted to say before. You start at, in the first semester, you start at BOKU University with both masters together. You have here relatively basic lectures to get you into the topic. Yeah. What you see here is the ECTS. They differ because, as I told you, the ones from LWM, they go then to Kenya and Delft. They have different programs there, so that's why it's slightly different. Here, you see we have quite a lot of introductory courses. It's a modular system, and this is important for you to know. So you have usually models of for 6 ECTS, and you have to do all the courses in this model to get your 6 ECTS. For compulsory courses, doesn't matter, but for the elective, it is crucial. Yeah. So basics in aquatic ecosystem research. This is the limnology course, for example. This is the limnochemistry course, which are now currently, no, it was last week and next week in Lunds. This is ecology of aquatic organisms, is just a short introduction into fish and benthic invertebrates, applied limnology, ecosystem management. So really the first steps into limnology. Good. And you see here, research proposal and master thesis seminar. This is then something only for BOKU. Now we split up. From the second semester onwards, applied limnology and limnology and wetland management master, they split up. So as I said, LWM go to first Egerton, so in summer to Kenya. And then in the next, in the third semester, they go to the Netherlands, to Delft. And what you can do is then the fourth semester is then for your master thesis. You can choose any of the 3 universities and do your master thesis there. I will go a bit more into LWM in the second presentation. Now let's more concentrate on the applied limnology master here. And you see here we have from the second semester onwards, it's just elective courses. Yeah? And I just added the modules here. What is important, but this is in the curriculum very clear, yeah? Some of the elective courses is a kind of, okay, you have to have at least 12 ECTS from modules that deal with biology and limnology. Yeah? And you see here you have others like planning and legal aspects, interdisciplinarity, but actually the most are anyway for biology and limnology. Yeah? Then in blue, you have 2 modules that are seminars, and you're obliged to do one of the modules. You can do the other one also if you're interested, yeah, but so these are the restrictions. A part of these restrictions, you are totally free to select which you would like best, yeah? And actually, most people then ask other students, say, hey, how is this module? Is it okay? How are the lectures? How is the exam? Up to you, okay? So just what do we offer? Ecohydromorphological monitoring. And by the way, it's very much focused on stream ecosystems, streams and rivers, so running waters, yeah? Only in the first term, in the limnology course, we are at Lake Lunds, and actually, yes, we push you into the water on a boat, yeah? So if you want to know a bit more about lake, you need to go to Egerton, yeah? Good, here, fish monitoring, benthic invertebrates, aquatic plants. Then there's a lot of applied things, yeah? So planning, management, conservation, restoration, all these things. Usually in seminars with field trips, etc., so very applied. You have modeling modules there. What else? Yeah, river society interactions. I think one is also about genomics. I don't see it anymore. I thought it's there. Here, genetics, sorry. Genetics, evolution, biology and genetics. So you see, it's the entire range of aquatic or freshwater ecosystem research, yeah, plus additional things like legal aspects, restoration, management, etc., etc. Okay. Job opportunities, I'm honest with you, yeah? It's not that they lay out the red carpet for us and say, please, please, please come to us. No, but fortunately, there are enough jobs, yeah? And people find always jobs anywhere. I mean, yes, there is research. You can stay in science. If you really want to stay in science, talk with me and I can tell you the pros and cons, but you really need to be inspired by the work. It's not for money. It's not for fame. It's just because it excites you. Higher education, also possible, yeah? I think at the moment they have a problem with lack of teachers, yeah, biology, etc. A lot go into NGOs or governmental positions, yeah, international organizations. That is also very, very good, especially if you have an international master degree, yeah? And so on. Consultancy, yeah. So, I mean, you can find a job, yeah, but I don't want to promise that it's very easy. On the other hand, think about what you learn. You learn about ecosystems. And ecosystems are highly connected systems. So what you learn is actually this linked system thinking. Yeah? And this is very nice because, at least in former times, they ask also for people from ecology to get into other jobs that had nothing to do with ecology because of these linked systems. So we do not think in this linear, but in this way. Yeah. Also, what we offer is a lot of management perspectives. So you should be able then afterwards to have an idea how to speak with stakeholders, politicians, etc., etc. And by the way, if you want to stay in science, we have a wonderful doc school, which are HR 21. Just if you don't know what to do. Okay. So what are the admissions? There are some requirements. You see it here, and sorry, it's a bit small, but you can find it also on the web page. So in basic, what do we need? You need a bachelor degree. Okay. Without that, it's not possible. Second is English language skills of the level of B2, and then some basics in statistics, chemistry, etc. So you see here, It's statistics, 2 ECTS, chemistry, 3 ECTS. That is usually in any bachelor now included, yeah. Soil sciences, geology, GIS, hydrology, and then there's a lot about a lot more ECTS about ecology, biology, and aquatic ecology. By the way, we are currently now thinking about updating it. Why? Very simple. You all know about the bachelor and the new bachelor system with the modular system. All modules, 6 ECTS. You see, we want 2 ECTS. We lost our courses of 2 or 3 ECTS. Yeah, and I can't force somebody to have a module of 6 ECTS if just 2 ECTS are required. Okay. Yeah, we'll think it over. About these requirements, one thing is important. I am the person currently who checks the requirements. Okay, so I have my list. I go through your curriculum, through the grades you have got. So one thing is important. See that everything is clear. Yeah, it's very, very hard to have, I don't know, ecosystem 1 and ecosystems 2. Is there soil? Is there geology in it? I mean, I can assume, I can look into curricula. If you are from Boku, it's easier for me, but if you come from somewhere else, it's really, really hard. Yeah. Second is, what I do is then I check it, and then if some requirements are not met, what you get from me is, okay, then you need to do this and these courses. You can do that during your study. Yeah, it's absolutely no problem. You get a very, very formal and binding document then from the study service. This is it. If you see, okay, actually, I have it in my bachelor's degrees, I did it, I can prove it. You have 40 days, yeah, to say, no, sorry, I don't accept that, I have it. Yeah. Afterwards, unfortunately, it's then binding. And neither I can do anything about it, nor the study services can do anything about it. Yeah. It's somewhere on the, I have never seen the official documents. I don't know whether that is very clear. I think yes. Yeah. Okay. Good. Admission, I don't know. I mean, if you're from Boku, a lot of things are anyway clear, but we have others too. So first step, pre-registration in the system if you are not already registered at Boku. That is important. This is easy because you can do it online. Yeah? So just go into admission to the studies, and then first is pre-registration, that they have your name and your documents. Second step is then the admission to the master program, where you fill in, okay, I want to do applied limnology or wetland master, et cetera, and you need a certain, so sorry, I'm not totally sure whether this is totally up to date. I didn't look into it, but you need copies, so best look into the webpage. They say which copies you need, yeah, and you send it into the study services. There is a difference whether you come with your bachelor from Boku, from any other university in the EU, or from outside the EU. It's much harder if you're from outside, yeah? Just so you know, please look under the correct link that applies to you, yeah? And what is also important is I only get your documents from the study service. I reply to the study service. So usually they want all students, and please also you, to directly contact them if you have any questions, yeah? Good, thank you. So I will now go into the LWM master because that is very interesting. It has some interesting modules, and you can do them also if you only study applied, not only, if you study applied limnology. Good. We talked already about why it is important. So just a few impressions. Yeah, the LWM, it starts at, as I told you, at Boku. This is then Delft, the institute at Delft, and this is the Egerton University. So, as I told you the first semester is in Austria at Boku and Wassercluster Lunds, where you have these basics. Now let's go into the next one. That is weird because Oh, this is an old one. Okay. Good. The next one, the summer term, is then in Kenya, where you have lake ecology, also streams and rivers, wetlands, very interesting because tropical wetlands are totally different than our wetlands, yeah, and also fisheries and aquaculture. It's totally different than here in Europe. And in Delft, you have a lot about bioassessment, but also a lot of modeling things there. Yeah, just to show you, when you do the LWM master, it's a truly international joint master degree. So you get a degree from all universities. So the nice thing is it's really 3 different universities in 3 different countries, from north to really south. Your study, applied limnology, allows you to do 1 or more modules from the LWM master. You just need to apply for that, but it's no huge problem. So you can use them as elective modules, yeah, instead of 1 at BOKU. And so far, more than 30 applied limnology students used this opportunity, and as far as I know, the majority went to Kenya. I don't know why. Why not the Netherlands? But just to tell you, there is support from BOKU. Yeah, there is the Joint Study Free Moving Outgoing grant, which supports you here. This is also 1 point for Kenya, not only the animals and the tropical area, but it's quite cheap compared to the Netherlands, which means that with this outgoing master, almost everything is covered. Yeah. Good. Research perspective is the same. Egerton University, my colleague also loves Egerton. So it's actually the oldest institute of higher education in Kenya, and has quite a lot of students and members. It's situated here. And just to get an idea, yeah, you are accommodated right at the campus in these buildings here. This is all from the campus. And to get an idea, so I told you first model, it starts with lake ecology. Yeah, also the lakes are quite different here, but a bit, let's say the program is similar to what we do in limnology. It's just a whole entire module. Yeah. Streams and rivers, yeah, different ecosystems, but in principle the same methods. But what is definitely different is wetlands for water quality. You visit natural wetlands, but you also visit constructed wetlands, or actually, so they're called treatment wetlands, to treat water quality. That is very, very interesting. Fishery and aquaculture, also totally different than in Europe or in Austria. Yeah, so if you're interested in that, I guess you can learn a lot there also. Yeah, and you see that they are quite well equipped here in the rooms, but I guess there are some pictures of other things, field trips, etc., to coastal areas. Here is the housing, just that you get an idea, yeah. So it's well equipped, yeah. You are here, you are on the campus. I was told it's actually really safe, yeah. As far as I know, you're really also taken up from the airplane and moved to the campus, so it's fine. Yeah. I never heard any complaints that there were some issues with safety. I don't think I need to speak a lot about that. It's definitely very impressive, and I said, oh my God, I would like to go there. Yeah, you learn also a lot about developing countries. You learn a lot about their issues. Yeah, they are totally different. So they are totally different in the climate. They are totally different in the ecosystems, and they are totally different in the cultural and social aspects. And I guess that's nice. So if you, for example, think, wow, working in an international association afterwards would be nice. I mean, I think that would be a good opportunity to take 1 or 2 modules there, but your decision. Okay. You see here that a lot of people then go to different countries. So these are all the students that did the LWM master and where they landed then with their jobs finally. And you see that it's really a hub. And by the way, I'm sorry, but my colleague would know better. But because this is such a hub, obviously, I guess just from the presentation, from the slides he gave me, that obviously there was enough money also to improve the equipment. They have now a bus, a large bus. Yeah, you see here, it's really, really well equipped. So I would like to have that in my labs. Okay, this is it. So you can decide, I want to stay in Austria for whatever reasons. I do the applied limnology master here entirely at BOKU. Wonderful, fine. You say, no, one semester at BOKU is really, really enough. I want to go to Kenya. I want to go to the Netherlands. And then I do a funny master thesis, I don't know, somewhere in Africa or whatever. The wetland master is the right thing. And if you say, okay, actually, I want to stay more at BOKU, but 1 or 2 modules or an entire semester would be nice, you can mix it. Yeah. Whenever you want to, for applied limnology, it's easy. When you want to mix it, come to us then, and especially to my colleague, Gerold Winkler. He knows exactly how it is there, and he can tell you also how it is to live there. I wasn't there myself. Yeah, how it is to live there, etc. What does it cost, etc., etc. Okay, so thank you for listening.